Good morning, good afternoon, Proxy Table Gaming fans. You are joined by the Gobbo here for the first Hobby Roundup show. This is the March edition. Coming up in this episode, we have what we've been working on. We're going to look through Instagram. We're going to find out different models that we like, and we're going to do some wonderful shout-outs for them. We're also going to trawl the T9A Forums and find anything that we like in there and give shout-outs as well. We also want to highlight some of the new models that are being released by the big companies and see what we can use them for in our wonderful world. Also, we want to start looking at competitions, and also we want to make a pick out of all your models and really celebrate the hobby in that way. Here is my details. So this is PTG Gobbo, and please look at us on Instagram and on the 9th Age Forum. If you've got any questions, if you want to get involved, please give us a call or give us a shout. We're more than happy to get involved with you. And today I am joined by the man who needs no introduction.
Good morning,
Mr. Scabfat. How are you, my friend?
I am very, very good. And you?
Yeah, doing good.
Marvellous. You're looking forward to this. This is going to be
Exactly.
a good laugh.
Something new, isn't it? So, for people that may not know, Scabfat is my mortal enemy. For 4 years now, 4.5 years, we've been having a goblin off every year at Art of War.
We had our first minor disagreement at the first Art of War in Bristol.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, my Gore-Tax swallowed your general whole.
I say minor disagreement.
Exactly. Never mind. Okay, so first of all, we're going to show what we've been working on this month. So I've been doing a commission for Beast Herds for someone called Tommy T. You may know him. And he's decided to go with all the Mears models, which are fantastic. At first, I was a little bit worried about if they'd fit on the base, because they're actually huge. But all in all, I think they look really cool, and can't wait to start painting them.
I must admit, yeah, you have done a good job of figuring out, like, putting together that puzzle piece.
Yeah, all the cork.
Yes.
All the cork. There we go. Okay, and for myself, I've actually been starting a vampire army. So this is a bit of a kit bash, using some of the Games Workshop parts, trying to make things a little bit different. So this is going to be my vampire on a Court of the Damned, which, if you've seen some of the Universal Battle games that I've played in so far, she does really, really well. And so this is what I envisage on the battlefield. So hopefully, with lockdown lifting, hopefully in England, we'll start seeing her on the battlefield, which would be good. What about yourself, Dan? What have you been working on?
So talking about lockdown, at the risk of jinxing it, I don't want to jinx it, but I've been painting my Dwarven Holds Gnomebot army that's also been in some of the battle reports on the screen at the moment. I've got a 3D printer now, and I've discovered that I can print and play Warmaster.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to printing up a 10mm Orc army. I know that some of the 9th Age players also have a love for kind of 10mm modelling. And just, with the 3D printers in general, there's just so many opportunities that have opened up for sort of like miniature hobbying, whether it's smaller scale like this, or as is the case on the next picture, for my gnomes, I don't think I ever would have expected that I could have
Yeah,
printed my own army, with kind of custom sculpts and the like.
they are glorious though,
Thank you.
absolutely glorious. And again, every single model has been custom designed by yourself.
Pretty much,
And
yeah.
again, the fact that you've then printed them as well,
Yes,
it's
yeah.
awesome.
I mean, there were a few designs that I've cheekily borrowed, but there's a space there. My Protectortrons, which are my Deep Watch stand-ins, are currently on the painting table for April.
Mhm.
Yeah, I finished the M4 Sirs over on the right, the Deep Watch,
Yeah,
and yeah, I mean, well, just think when I first started this army, it was actually Undying Dynasty's army, wasn't it?
yes, it was. Yeah,
I tried to figure out how
couldn't win with
to.
them, so he decided to go for dwarves.
Yeah, exactly. I took the easy route rather than learn how to play a real army.
No, mate, they are fantastic, and I'm sure everyone, all the watchers, will agree that it's something that's completely different, never seen before. So you
Yes,
should be really happy with them.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to rolling them out at the tournament in August.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing them. Okay, on to the main event, guys. So this is Instagram. So again, something that I do quite often. I'm on Instagram. I put a load of the commissions that I'm doing, anything that I'm painting up on Instagram. But I like Instagram because it gives you an opportunity to see what other people are doing. You get great ideas, you get great modeling tips and stuff like that. And so this is just a couple of people that I think are really good accounts that you guys should really go and check out. So first of all, we have beast_vampire.army. So straight away, looking at that model there, so that's the Zealot Minotaur.
The
Love the paint scheme on it.
Yeah, I personally I've always found that highlighting flesh. I mean, highlighting flesh puts the fear in me. And
Which is why you've gone for a robot army.
exactly, yeah, nothing but straight lines. But no, I mean just the feathering contrast on the muscles, um, especially and the fact that it's protruding, and combined with the weathering on the armor, that
Yeah, and the wood as well.
oh yeah, no, absolutely. I that it's just so visually striking.
Exactly. So Beast Vampire Army here, he does Beast Herds and Vampire Covenant as well. I've only got Beast Herds photos for him because again we've got so many photos that are brilliant on there. So on the left there, he's got one of the Mears models for his Gortak, which again is just painted really, really well. I love the basing style, which is almost like a overgrown forest area, which is lovely.
Yeah,
Again, the chap in the center is the Minotaur BSB, which is huge. I've actually seen that one in the resin, we'll say, and it is massive. So again, putting him up against any normal Minotaurs, it would just look fantastic. And then you've got the GW mongrels on the right hand side, which again, even though the mongrels, he's put loads of detail on them, loads of non-metallic metals, and they really, really stand out.
yeah,
So I think fantastic first little one to look at there.
yeah.
Any thoughts, Mr. Scabfat?
I was just gonna say, yeah, from a sort of like a painting texture, like everything stands out against each other without kind of overpowering the model, if that makes
Definitely.
sense. Like it's just easy to translate what everything is supposed to be, and yeah, it's just really good execution.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, on to the next one. We have Karak Al Carrier, who has dwarves and beast herds again. So I've only got some dwarves on this one, but I chose this one because of the non-metallic metals and the blending on there.
Oh,
So if you look at the Slayer on the left-hand side, he hasn't used any metal paint, and I think that is fantastic. And
uh,
considering that zoomed in
okay. I mean,
massively,
okay, yeah. I thought that was true metallic. Oh wow. Okay.
yeah. So even like the long beards on the right, or hammerers or whatever you call them,
Mm,
the gold on there, there's no metals used, which I think is such an incredible skill to be able to get. But to be able to replicate that across an entire army, so for example, like these guys, it's just awesome. And I'm not a fan of dwarves, as most people know. I don't think many people are fans of dwarves, but these are just outstandingly painted. And the fact that he's got all the checkered shields and they all look neat as opposed to some checkered which don't look quite right, but it really hits off against the non-metallic metals of the gold and the silver, as well as then the blondes and the greys of the beards. I just think it's just fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I yes, these sculpts are some of my favorite dwarf sculpts. So it makes me really
Oh,
happy
definitely.
to see kind of all this time and effort that's been put into them. But yeah, no, when
Exactly.
I'll be honest with you, when I first looked at them, I just didn't realize they were non-metallic. Now that is, and if it's
That's the skill, yeah.
army wide non-metallic to this standard, that's, I mean, hats off.
Definitely, yeah.
Horned hats off.
Yeah, horns hats off. So definitely, guys, go and see what he's doing on his Instagram page and like and share and subscribe him. Fantastic work on there. Next up, we have Danny Rivas, Dark Metal. He's got some Empire Silence style and some Highborn elves, but I chose these because, again, it's non-metallic metal, but it's so smooth. His painting is so smooth, and the detail that he's managed to get in there. So, for example, his BSB there, all of the like shadowing and parts on the metals, they're not there by light. He's painted that, and I just think it's fantastic. And it looks so realistic, as much as an elf can look realistic, for example. But
So I mean that Empire, yeah, that Empire banner bearer, based based on those highlights, you kind of look at that and assume it's a larger scale model, like a 54 mil or something. But then when you realise, oh no, that's a 20 mil base.
Yeah,
and it kind of puts that into context. I mean, as you say, like on the non-metallic metal on the chest plate, but even on the banner itself,
yes,
like the gradient shadows on the whites,
yeah.
and then clearly he was mad enough, brave enough to then go, oh, let's freehand the dog.
I think skilled enough, mate.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
But even the elf. So again, you got the non-metallic gold as well as the non-metallic silvers, but you got the nice purpley colours as well, and it all just really fits together nicely. And again, these guys here. So again, the two models on the right-hand side. If any Witcher fans are in the house, I can't remember what their names are because it's been a long night. But again, just the blends are so subtle. It's really nice.
Yeah, that paintbrush loaded up with unicorn hairs. That's
Exactly. Exactly.
crikey.
There we go. So next up we have Cinerai Paints 25. And one of the reasons that really stood out to me is on the left-hand side here. He's used a toy dinosaur.
Oh
I think it's
yes.
brilliant.
Oh yes.
I think it's outstanding. I think more story and ancient players should use toy dinosaurs in their armies. But he's converted it to be like an engine of the ancients or something like that. He's got a little chap setting on the back there. I just think it's awesome. And again, that will tower over the battlefield, as you can see.
Oh, absolutely.
And then he's got I think they're called Hedonites of Slanesh.
Yeah, the new Hedonite
Chappies, which again I think can either be used for demons or for warriors. So again, it'll look fantastic in an army there.
I mean, yeah, some of the new Chaos the Games Workshop Chaos models, they're going to offer up so many converting opportunities for Ninth Age.
Oh, definitely. And again, the model on the left and centre here, I think, is an ogre Stonehorn, isn't it?
Looks it. I mean, from
with a
the
Gore-Tex head. But he's got some armor panels on there which I don't recognise. Are they from the new High Elves? Or sorry, Lumineth?
They look like So the Lumineth have the big mountain bull goat monster.
Oh right, okay.
And it looks like I mean, looking at what is effectively like a shoulder plate, you can see where the metal grows into rock. So I suspect that is from that model. But I mean, that is. I think that's quite inspired, actually, especially with
I think
the
it's a cool
models.
idea.
Yeah.
So again, you could use that for like a Chaos War Shrine. Sorry, Warriors of the Dark Gods War Shrine. Yeah, even maybe Gortax, or even maybe something else
Mhm.
ogre related. Just fantastic use of different parts of models there. Okay. This one's one of my favourites. I really like this one. It's not necessarily modelling, but it's by Pikasawi on Instagram, and he has created a world that I imagine Ninth Age to be, if that makes sense. So you've got little farms, you've got little towns in there, castles, everything, and the amount of detail on some of his photos on Instagram, I could sit there for hours just looking at it, and you'd still find something new every single time.
Yeah, there was so this is someone that I've been following previously, and uh, it's it's basically daily uploads, isn't it? But he'll just do like
Yeah,
a shot of um like the picture on the left. It's just a shot of, say, a marketplace.
yeah,
And as you're scrolling through your feed, you'll see it and go, oh, like, it won't really register until you stop and look at it and go, oh, hang on,
yeah.
no, they're all toy soldiers.
So, for example, on the left-hand side picture there, you've got the statue at the back there, which is actually one of the Empire General models from Games Workshop.
Oh
And he's
yeah.
actually stood on a plinth from the Garden of Moor set. So again, you can see the scale, if you've never
Mm.
seen those models, of actually what everything else is around him. But every single little detail, so that all the different dresses and things, they're all different. You can see the girls in the centre all holding hands, they're all dancing. And I just think that's what you would see in a medieval market. And I think it's fantastic that he's been able to replicate that in real life, inverted commas.
Yeah. Absolutely. Uh, I mean, and then that on the one hand the miniatures, but then I guess also the scenery, like the
Yeah,
sheer scale of all the scenery that he uses to frame and really kind of tell that story.
exactly. But also, you can't tell. I know you can tell, but it gives you as much immersion as possible into his world, and I think that's very clever. So yeah, definitely check out Pikasawi, guys. Next up, we have Warpainter 89. I chose this account because, again, he got some funky conversions and some ideas about basing and swamps and things. I just thought it's really, really cool. So see what you think, guys. So on the left there, he's got a little swamp base with some Aztec ruins and skulls. Then he's got his BSB there on the right-hand side, which, again, all the skulls.
That's a big banner.
But that... So this is the Lost Kingdom Carnosaur. It's just fantastic. I cannot wait for someone to 3D print this so that I can paint it for them. It's just such a fantastic model.
Yeah,
And again, he's done a really good job on it. It looks really smart.
yeah, this is a shout out to all the UK SA players. We'd love to see this on the
Exactly.
table, just preferably playing against someone else.
Exactly, yeah.
Because these things are terrifying.
They are, but again, the size of the model itself is so much bigger than the Games Workshop version.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it'll have an imposing presence on the battlefield as well, especially when it's painted like this, which is good. Yeah, I can't wait to see what else comes from the Lost Kingdom, guys. Next up, one of my favourites, Knights of Dundee with Kingdom of Equitaine. So this is his Grail BSB, and my god, the details that he puts into his livery, I think are fantastic.
Do you reckon
Just
he woke up one morning and asked himself, "How much freehand should I have on this model?" And he replied,
exactly,
"Yes,
yeah.
yes."
Well, it worked. It absolutely, whatever he decided in the night, or if he was forced at gunpoint, he did amazingly.
Yeah,
Just I can't imagine the amount of time that he would have put onto this, and I think it's come out really, really well. And then a couple of the other models as well. So even the peasant banners
wait,
have
hold up.
so much detail.
Look at that man at arms banner. What?
Yeah.
Oh my
So even the
word!
peasants, the detail that he's put into that, I think is fantastic to get what he thinks would look like in a well, it's going to be Bretonia or it's going to be Kingdom of Equitaine army. I think it's just gorgeous.
Good gosh,
Good gosh.
Good golly. No,
You've heard it here, folks. Good gosh.
It's. I mean, on the one hand, freehand is impressive.
Mm.
Well executed freehand is even more impressive. Well executed freehand
Exactly.
on colours that are a nuisance to paint over
Yeah.
if you make a mistake.
So the chap in the centre, for example, the Duke, have you seen the pattern on the barding?
Yeah, I was just like, I can't. When it comes to patterns, sometimes I struggle to conceptualize what a pattern would look like. But the fact that he's managed to not only implement it but keep it regular
Yeah,
across the folds is
exactly. And these models aren't big models, so to be able to replicate that, it's just really, really well done. So yeah, guys, check out Knights of Dundee. A fantastic load of models on there. I've only got a selection on here, obviously because of space, but there is so many things that he's done on there, which I think you guys need to see. Okay, so that takes us to our next part. So trawling the 9th Age forums, there's loads of guys on there that do part in the painting hobby blogs, and I don't have the patience to go up on there and try and load my photos on there, unfortunately. So, however, the guys that have kept up with the hobby blogs for I think it's about 2 or 3 years now they've been doing it are fantastic resources and a fantastic amount of the things on there that people should be really proud of. So these are just a selection of some of the ones that I found that I think people need to really celebrate. Okay, so first up, we've got our friend Madat. Good old Madat. With his YouTube channel as well. So he's got his hobby ramblings. So go do check him out on there. But these, I believe, are his Shabti. So for his Oriental themed Undying Dynasties. So I'm guessing, because I haven't actually spoken to him about this, they're to represent the like the Chinese year of the monkey, Chinese year of the crockraw,
the zodiac
and stuff like that.
Not the zodiac.
Yeah, the Chinese calendar. I think it's just really, really clever. And again, the painting style that he's used is lovely. So it's gone very. It's not the word terracotta, is it? It's clay.
Yes.
I just think really, really good. And here's some more photos of them. But again, the fact that the banner really stands out against it, I think it's lovely.
Yeah, and even though the painting palette is like on the models themselves is quite close, he still managed to kind of get the contrast to make everything pop and be recognizable. Yeah, because sometimes when you have a very kind of monotonal paint scheme, everything just become a bit messy and sludgy. You just kind of lose what it is. But no, he's done really, really well to just
everything's really, really neat and sorted.
Yeah, absolutely.
My favourite on the bottom left is the second one in, is the killer rabbit. That's definitely my favourite one.
Yes.
What a Madat. Next up, we've still got some more from Madat. Yeah, he's got a vermin swarm globadier.
Yeah.
Are they called globadiers still?
I believe
trademark.
I believe so.
Okay. But again, I just love the model. And again, he's done really, really well with it. So it's all non-metallic metal. Again, the blending's really nice. Really nice model. There we are. So we're on to Promet next. And he has with him some of the Highland miniatures, undead. Which again, the quality of the models are fantastic, but Promet's done a really good job with them, especially the tartan on the banner there on the right hand side, which is just cool. Gotta love a bit of tartan, especially for Highland miniatures. But these ones, they look almost like the old style Chaos Warriors. But
I actually thought they were for a second with head swaps.
Yeah.
I mean,
but they're very smart.
What I really like about that is, again, sort of like the unit as a whole reads very, very dark, but the fact that he's got cold darks, so the fur having that kind of blue tinge, and then he mixes that against the warm darks of the brown leather.
Exactly. Yeah.
Still make sure that he maintains that kind of gloomy, kind of grim facade to it, but and things about having the skulls as a pop color, just
exactly
helps draw your eye to where it needs to be drawn to.
Even things like the champion at the front, just the one little bit of
gold
on there, or bronze, and it just picks it out. which is awesome. So great job from Promet there, guys. Check out his painting blog on the forum. Oh, sorry, we've still got some more wolves for him. So nice funky little werewolves, which I imagine he's going to be using for winged spawn, vampire spawn, or for the large ghouls, whatever they're called, ghasts. Yeah, awesome models. Next up, we have Lanniston. So again, these I believe are all 3D printed. So again, these are cool looking models for his Undying Dynasties models. So again, that's a Colossus with a bow. And again, I love the color scheme. I love the gold, white, and blue. I just think it looks so reminiscent of when the Tomb Kings first launched, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What was that, about 20 years ago now?
Don't you'll date us. That's
exactly. But that's his army so far, and again, it just looks so bright and colourful, and I love the basing as well. It just reminds me, reminiscent of the older style Tomb Kings, but with a new twist.
Yeah, I mean the basing is subtle but striking. Just with
definitely
with the like the stonework underfoot, just slightly covered over. That's really good.
Just reminds me of the Mummy film with George of the Jungle in
it. Yes, yeah, well, that's what we call it.
Brilliant. So check out Lanniston, guys, on the forum. There's loads of stuff on there for you. Next up, we have Morrigan with a giant Empire dude, which is just huge. I don't recognise the model. It's probably a very famous one, but I haven't seen it myself.
Oh, is that a giant?
It's a giant, yeah.
Oh, that's a signpost. Oh, right, okay, yeah. Right, I've just appreciated the scale.
So that's a giant, which is just awesome. Again, I love the colours. Red and yellow really go well together. And here are his Kislev Lancers, which he's going to be using for his Empire style army. Again, there's just awesome models. I love them.
Yeah, those must have been pricey to get hold of, unless he
exactly. He's remortgaged his house to get.
Yeah. I mean, more so for the old 6th edition dwarf shields that he's got there. Those are the real expensive bits. That's
yeah, definitely. But yeah, fantastic. Some of the most iconic models from the mid-90s were they?
Yeah, I was thinking back to it. Once upon a time, I was actually toying with the idea of doing like a Russian themed EOS army, and basing it loosely.
Isn't that just a warriors army?
What? No. I mean, things like the hussars, like winged hussars, these guys. And then the demi-griff knights end up being
bears,
for example. Yeah, just tick off all of the boxes.
Exactly.
So
all the stereotypes.
Yeah, I like seeing the exactly. So yeah, seeing these models just well done, very well executed.
Awesome. Again, check out Morrigan's page, guys. There's so much stuff on there. Loads of stuff. Really, really good. We then have Matt Rat, not Mad At, Matt Rat, and some old style models. These are the original High Elves. I think they're 3rd edition metals.
4th,
probably 4th.
Yeah.
But again, I love the way he's painted them. I just think they're lovely. Again, just the blues coming out there is really, really subtle, but also quite bright. And again, he's even gone to the painstaking, torturous self of graining the wood on the bow, which is lovely. But at the same time, I don't know how he has the time to do that, especially when you consider he's done it on all of them. So,
wow.
I just think they're lovely. Again, they stand out so well, and they're so reminiscent of the older games, but they fit perfectly well with what we're doing.
I was going to say that, like, I have those models and the goblins that kind of came with them in that box at one time. So he's also gone in and converted some of them by the looks of it.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, none of them had bare heads. They were all helmeted originally, and chap second on the left hand picture, chap second in from the right. Yeah, that's actually a couple of them with the arms down. Yeah, it takes a brave person to hack into some very old, expensive, out of production models.
Exactly. Nah, brilliant, fantastic work from Matt out there. Sorry, Matt Rat, one of them.
Matt's Rat.
Him.
That's right.
Yes, Matt Rat. From Matt Rat there. Again, go and have a look at his post and his blog. There's so many models on there, just absolutely gorgeous. Right, so that is the last of those ones there. So what we want to do, guys, is every month we want to do our pick of what we think is going to be the nicest model. We want to try and do a little competition. So if you guys think that you've got a great model that you painted this month, send it on in to us. We'd love to show it on the channel here. So next up, guys, is the new and upcoming models from the big companies, and see what we could use them in the 9th age. So starting with Games Workshop. So we've got the Vampire Lady on the left here, which I think is fantastic. Again, it goes away from the traditional bow tie, like bourgeoisie sort of masquerade,
Yes.
doesn't it?
Yes.
Of the vampires.
Kinda
And this actually goes back to horror.
leans in on that kind of Tim Burton-esque Nightmare Before Christmas
Yes.
style.
Yes,
it's
exactly.
very visually striking. I must admit, everything from like that release window has, again, like I've seen a lot of chat on some of our 9th age groups. People are excited about these models because there's just, again, so much possibility.
Exactly.
And it's a lot. I noticed a lot of people who collected undead armies would go to, say, Mantic models or like the Fireforge stuff. But now that kind of Games Workshop are stepping back in with these new
definitely
new models, it'd be good to see where people go with it.
Exactly. So we've got more undead coming up in a second, but on the right hand side here we've got a Chaos Sorcerer, which again would look fantastic as a Herald, or again as a Warriors of the Dark Gods Sorcerer. Just a nice sculpt, really, especially considering the old ones were about 15 years old.
Yeah.
So it's nice to just get a newer model. On the bottom right, we have some Slanesh Beastmen, which again I think would look fantastic as Fiends or in the Demon Army.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually surprised when they released that they were that size, because I'm pretty sure they're on 40. Those are 40
Yeah, they're on 40s, I think.
Yeah, so it's I mean, Warriors of the Dark God armies. There's so many units that need kind of 50 mil bases, so these would look really, really good, as well as alongside the rest of the Head of Knights range from Games Workshop.
Exactly. There we go. Then we have some new orcs.
Hey!
Or Oryx, as they like to be called. So I love the Shaman model on the right hand side. I think he's fantastic. Again, I'd love to have him leading a little feral army. But these are from Warhammer Underworlds. So it's a new war band that's come out for them. So you're going to get about 6 orcs from there. But again, the sculpts are really inventive and a little bit different from the standard one arm up, one arm down, holding paired weapons, savage orcs that you've normally seen. There's lots of different details on them, which I think is quite nice.
Yeah.
And then we have this release.
Hooray!
This is the Cursed City, which again is the new version of the Warhammer Quest. So there's so many models in here that I would use for everything. There's rats, there's bats, there's zombies, skeletons, big monster things. You've got loads of characters, loads of vampires. And I think this is actually one of my favourite releases from Games Workshop for a couple of years now. Just the amount of detail. So when you go into the units individually, so these are some of the characters on the good side. Again, you could use these in so many different armies, but specifically Empire of Solstal. So the chap on the right, for example, is an Inquisitor. The chap on the left could be a General, could be a Warrior Priest, or whatever they're called now. It's the Castellan. No, that's KOE. What's the word?
For Empire, they are War Priests?
Something like that, yeah. But again, the detail that they've got on, these are just going to be push-fit models. Again, really, really nice. Zombies, a bit different from the normal take on zombies. Apparently, the lore is that they're held in place in their coffins by stakes and things, And when they get raised up, they actually take their coffin with them.
Oh, I see the stakes coming out their chests now.
Yeah. So in a lot of the like Russian area, Bulgaria, and stuff like that, they used to put stakes through people they suspected of being undead, so that they physically couldn't get out of the grave. So this is one way of showing that, which is a bit gruesome. But
well, I mean, off the back of these, there are new there are new zombie models that have also been released since this this preview, which has a similar kind of roots protruding vibe, but less gravestone.
Exactly. Again, a couple of the models, so they look very Eastern European, which is the whole thing with this launch here. So, for example, like the model on the bottom right there, the headscarf again is very Romanian. You have just like that sort of style, which I think is quite cool. Then my favourites, the City Guard, they just look awesome. Again, I used to really like the last Games Workshop skeletons. I think they were really posed very well. Yeah. But these ones blow them out of the water. Again, they look very Ottoman. So again, like a Romanian, Turkish sort of warrior.
Yeah, I mean,
but again, just the details on them are just fantastic. And again, there's so many different poses, just awesome.
Yeah,
can't wait to get my hands on them.
It's a visual style that you don't really see tapped into all too often.
No, not at all.
Especially for an undead version, these are really good.
Then on the left there, we've got the new White King. Which again, the old White King is again about 10 years old. Hasn't been, no, more than that, 20, 25 years. It's metal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
On that horse that was also metal. So again, this is a new model here. And again, the detail on it's lovely. I'd definitely convert it into a BSB. And again, use it in a Black Knight bus. And it just look awesome. But yeah, really happy with him. And then the guys on the right here, again, I'm not a really big fan of the Lumineth. But these guys I thought would work really well as the Blade Masters. Sword Masters, Blade Masters.
I can only imagine that our dear old Mr. Lucky Sixes is excited for these guys.
he loves a bit of high elf, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Bless him. There we are. And on to Mias miniatures. So these guys really caught my eye. So these are berserkers for one of the Albion armies. And they just look just absolutely pumped on shrooms. Just literally, they just rage and they just go in. I think they're just fantastic models. They could be used for beastmen. They could be used for ogres, even like Forsworn, for example, for Warriors of the Dark Gods. I just think they're just brilliant models. And Mias do some fantastic offers when they do like buy one get one free on units and stuff like that. So again, check out Mias miniatures. Fantastic models. Oh, there we go. We've got a couple more there. So some new ogres they've released, which they look a lot more horrific than your generic sort of ogre-looking model. Just the facial expressions, I think, are awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes it's easy to forget that ogres aren't just very big 40mm based
big people.
Humans.
Yeah.
There's enough, the more unique facial structure. 3 fingers rather than 4.
Exactly. And also the chap in the centre, for example, having a necklace made of human ears. Is,
crikey. Oh, yeah.
It's quite cool. Well, there we go. Next up is a couple of 3D printed models. This one is from Archvillain Games, I believe. And this is the Trench of the Deep range. So, again, one of my ideas for Saurian Ancients is actually an underwater, like, froglet sort of army. So amphibian as opposed to lizard.
Yes.
So again, the chap on the right there would be fantastic for a Coatl Lord. Again, chap on the right, again, maybe a Carnosaur or maybe a Stegodon, whatever they're called now, Taurosaur. Just awesome. Again, the big Leviathan on the left there, a Kraken maybe for Dark Dread Elves. And then you've got the new ones on the right here, so the Vermin Swarm. So the size of that Doom Wheel.
This stuff's really exciting. I know VS are going through their lab process at the moment.
Definitely.
So, yeah, seeing some rat-themed releases should be definitely exciting.
And the fact that these are all 3D printable, so you can just buy the STL files and print them yourself if you have access to it, or you can contact someone who's like a commission printer, Dan, And but some of these models, the chap on the right, what a vermin demon that would make! Just awesome.
These are, yeah, so I guess depending on the size. I mean, well, that's the beauty of it. I say depending on the size, but if these are 3D printed models, you can scale them. I
Yeah,
mean, it depends on how that harness fits into the model as a whole, but
yeah.
yeah, I mean, the chap on the right, what is that, like a Pope rat? Um, you can print him huge, have him
He's
as
a
your.
plague priest, isn't he? Surely.
I suppose he would be. Yeah, yeah. Well, I was gonna say print him huge, have him as a vermin demon. You
Exactly.
can,
I'd use him as a vermin demon. And then the chap on the left, that could be either an abomination. It can
yeah,
either be your bell or your plague furnace. Anything at all. It's
yeah.
just fantastic. And again, looking on this on the 3D printable site for Archfilling Games, that model on the left comes with lots of different types. So again,
Okay,
you can have it without the top, you can have it with a different top, you can have
perfect.
it with a different head. So there's multiple different things you can do with it.
Yeah,
So again, really, really nice models there. And there we are. We have been released now the new Lost Kingdom miniatures for the Kingdom of Aquitaine. So it's the Kingdom of Mercia in this one here. So again, great. I love Bretonians. I love the old style of like the Knights of the Round Table, the King Arthur sort of style. So it's got a couple of those. Just the detail of these for 3D printed models is just beautiful.
yeah.
Really, really nice.
I mean, I've been following along with Lost Kingdom's Patreon,
Mm.
and they're like, especially their. Hang on, what are they? I think they are Infernal Dwarves models. The detail that they get, even on a home printer,
Yes.
is impressive. And yeah, so these, like, I can look at these models and see all of the like the filigree and the embellishment, and
Yes.
be happy that on most printers you're gonna get that detail. And
Exactly.
that's very
So like
that's very cool.
the bard on the right hand side, the facial details on that, just fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Our friend and mine, the Green Knight.
I hope models like this will mean we see him more often on the tabletop, just because that
He's
is
in my
awesome.
10,000 point army.
That's true. Yeah,
There we are, a relic with the Knights Forlorn.
that's
Just awesome.
the bottom of the shrine. That
Yeah,
detail with the little protruding fleur de lis, and then the detail
exactly.
underneath. Oh,
You can just imagine them carrying it back from Jerusalem, can't you? It's just,
yeah,
yeah, very nice Templarish, but again,
and the
fantastic work from Lost Kingdom Miniatures.
the holy hand grenade in the middle of
Yes.
it.
That pretty much wraps it up today, guys. So we're coming up now. We've had a look at all the different models, and we've decided between us what we want to do is just celebrate one particular person each month. And if we do it as a competition in the future, we don't know. But our pick of the month, Dan, I think we both agreed on this one, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
So
I mean, it was kind of tough, but then yeah, but I think we chose the right one.
yeah,
I think,
definitely,
yeah,
I think so. But again, there's so many fantastic models out there that if you just go and look, you can find them, and it's really, really inspiring to see other people do well. So, well done to Danny Rivas Dark Metal for this BSB,
yeah.
because it is just something else, absolutely
Though
something else.
those blends are just too creamy.
Yes, smooth as Skippy peanut butter.
Yeah, no, it's. I think yeah. What tipped it over for me was the realization that that is a 28mm model.
Yes,
Um,
yes, and the
because
fact that he's blended the whites on the banner
yes,
for shadowing.
yeah. I mean, I
Just
in terms of YouTubers, like I watch a fair amount of Miniac, and he paints larger scale kind of bust size miniatures, and you see blending similar to that on those models. So then to see that condensed, it's, yeah,
exactly.
just kind of mind boggling.
Yeah,
Really well done.
fantastic. Well done, Danny Rivas Dark Metal. Get in contact. We'd love to hear more. We'd love to see more of your photos and see what you're working on next time. I would love to get in contact. Fantastic. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us on this first little journey into the hobbying world for proxy table gaming. So if you do have any questions, or if you want to have your models shown on the show, please get in contact. You can either email them to me directly at thepaintgoblin@gmail.com. We've got Instagram, we've got YouTube. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Get onto the 9th Page Forum as well. We'd love to hear some details on there as well. If you want us to show your blog, again, get in contact. Again, if you have any questions or recommendations of things that you want to change or do things differently, we'd love to hear them as well. This is an ongoing project that we hope you enjoy. Okay. Anything else from yourself, Dan?
No, I think we've covered it all. Look forward to having another catch up next month, and looking forward to it.
Yeah. Thank you very much for coming along, and thank you very much, guys, for watching. Stay safe. Bye.